So how true it is that people, those who are struggling with obesity, is 90% inflation in the body? How would you relate?
I wouldn't say 90% of inflammation, but yes, inflammation does cause a lot of bloating. It does make us feel fat even if we aren't.
Welcome to Business in Dubai with Neeja. Today we have very special guest Mr. Sonam Lama from Simply Healthy Fit. He is the co-founder and the co-creator of the brand. Today we are going to explore and discuss a lot about healthy, making healthy Dubai and healthcare business. Sonam has been running this business since 3 years, and this pod is going to be very helpful for the people, those who are struggling with weight issues and nutritional matters. So let's take it ahead and let's welcome Sonam to the studio. Welcome Sonam to the studio.
Thank you. My pleasure being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. So we will be very interested to know about your journey. First of all, how you started your brand in Dubai and how it helped people in making them healthy.
Sure thing. So I moved to Dubai in 2022. I just came here actually to visit my sister, and I decided to stay back like 3 years later. I'm here, right? But initially, when I moved in here, I had a few clients already who I was training, but that's because when I lived abroad and I was managing them online, and I just happened to meet them when I came here. So one thing led to another, and I started freelancing as a personal trainer in Dubai. But throughout my personal training and health and fitness coaching journey, I've always worked with nutritionists or clinical dietitians side by side to understand and provide the best possible solution for the clients. And 6 months into my stint in Dubai, I met Mithun Disarkar, who is the co-founder of Simply Healthy Fit. She already runs a very successful meal prep company called Simply Healthy Diets.
Okay.
And I was looking for someone like that to partner up with, and she was looking for someone to run the fitness side of her brand as well. So it was just a perfect collaboration for us. And long story short, 3 years later, here we are.
Okay, so what is your targeted market? It is mostly the people struggling with obesity, or people those who are already having a fit regime. You can support them as well into their health.
So ideally, it is people who are seriously struggling with their health and obesity. Yes, because that is where our assistance, our expertise is required the most. Because it's not initially it's a lack of knowledge,
Yeah.
and then secondary it's the lifestyle changes that we bring about. For someone who is already a health conscious person, they may already know what to do, and it's just a matter of a certain push. Then that's a completely different type of assistance that we provide. But predominantly, I'd say about 90% of our clients are health related and health and lifestyle related.
We are seeing very viral videos these days that inflammation,
Yeah.
very popular Bollywood
Sure.
celebrities talking about it. So how true it is that people, those who are struggling with obesity, is 90% inflation in the body? How would you relate?
I wouldn't say 90% of inflammation, but yes, inflammation does cause a lot of bloating. It does make us feel fat even if we aren't. An example is some women specifically tend to react badly to certain foods. All right, and let's talk about Indian food for that matter. Some people that we don't realize are maybe allergic to the breads that we eat.
Yeah.
Right? So that sort of bloats them up. Maybe there's water retention, the stress levels, the cortisol levels, all of that holds on to fat, holds on to the water, and that's why we feel bloated. Of course, there are ways to work around it. Number one is to try and understand the type of foods that you're eating, but you don't know what you don't know, right? So for that, you'll have to go see a doctor, you'll have to do a blood test and understand where things are going wrong. And then based on that, you can very easily create a nutrition plan that suits your lifestyle. You don't have to go crazy about cutting out carbs entirely or eating only specific types of food. You can design it around your lifestyle, you can design it around your palate, around your culture, around everything, and make sure that you're eating things that do not cause you to bloat. An example is one of my friends, she is allergic to onions and tomatoes. Can you imagine? And that's something that we eat every single day.
Indian food, it has to be there.
And she didn't know what was causing her to have IBS or irritable bowel syndrome. And then after doing a bit more discussions with doctors. I stepped in as well, and we realized that this is what's causing her the allergy. So now she needs to find a way around it. But that's just the way life is.
Yeah, very informative. So, what we have seen specifically, I'm talking about more about women because
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
there's because generally we have seen after a certain age or motherhood in India and other part of the world as well, women they tend to become obese. Is it related to something related to age, or what is the common factor that majority of the problems occur after 30 or the motherhood?
Um, the most common factors, and I'll just name them out, and I'm sure you will relate at some point, all right, is the cortisol levels, which is the stress levels. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the types of foods that they're eating is generally very low in protein and extremely high in carbs. So there's imbalance in nutrition. And of course, there is no accountability on the type of fats that they're eating either. Number three, it is a lack of exercise or lack of movement. And I should say significant lack of movement, because in fact I was just discussing it the other day that why is it that the women in India particularly are so obese. In fact, the obesity level in women is much higher than that as compared to men. And that's these three factors: stress levels, your nutrition imbalance, and lack of exercise. Then also throw in the whole aspect of womanhood. For some cases, it's perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal. There's a whole bunch of things happening, and once you have created a human being inside you, right? That's a completely different ballgame. That's not normal for men. So there's no comparison between men and women, especially when it comes to managing your health from that aspect. And that's why women's health, although there are many similar aspects like yes, the right foods, exercise, all of that, there are certain aspects which relate only to women that men can negate for that matter.
Of course, that matters. What you eat, you become. That's truly
Absolutely.
right. So food plays a very important role. And Simply Health, in your Simply Healthy programs, do you have something to cope up the problem areas which we have said, if it is a cortisol level or the stress level, how you make a plan, and what is the USP of Simply Healthy?
Sure. So the very first thing that the procedure that we follow is any person who wants to get on track with their health, Mithun and I meet them in person. And because she is a clinical dietitian, she then recommends certain tests to be done to understand what suits the person with regards to the food. Okay? And while those tests are getting done, we also prepare a specific meal plan designed for them. The type of macros, micros, calories, all of that is counted for that specific person. And the company or Simply Healthy Fit then sends the food over to them. And please just follow this diet, all right, this specific plan, because it is for a specific reason. It is not something that you can do just for a week and let go, because we have a certain goal to achieve. Because people who generally come to us, let's say women for that matter, I need to lose 20 kgs because after childbirth I haven't been able to. I've just been putting on weight. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't understand whether it's a hormonal imbalance or whether it's a lack of movement or whatever it is. That's where Mithun comes in. She makes sure that we explain to the client exactly what the problem is, and to sort of address those issues, these are the types of foods that will work best for you. The second phase is where I step in, and that is the exercise bit. So based on the person's abilities, past experience, current condition, I design a workout program customized only for that person, and then the team of personal trainers, we execute the workout. Now, if the person is exercising regularly and eating correctly, you're already seeing huge differences. But then how do we make it a lifestyle change, something that they can do for the rest of their life? And as they go through the program, I keep providing training and guidance from time to time. And it's a small trickle in effect, so that by the end of the program, without them realizing, they have already learned how to do things correctly. And that's the beauty of Simply Healthy Fit.
Okay, great input, Sonam. So most of the people, because of their lifestyle, sometimes they tend to skip the meals, and they generally people into the industries, those who are functional overnight, they're working night, their meal plans change, they are tend to neglect the nutritions and sleep patterns. How you deal with those kind of customers?
Okay, so there are two types within this category as well. One who has their entire work life cycle the other way around. Basically, someone who works through the night and then rests through the day. We have some people in the entertainment industry whose work begins after sunset,
Yeah.
right? Some people who are in the security industry again, who have to secure major events, so they're working through the evening. So for them, we flip the timetable. So everything that you're supposed to do in the day, you do at night, and then you rest through the day. And as soon as you wake up, you be it like say around 4 or 5 in the evening, you get your workout in, and then you continue the cycle. So my morning may be 5 a.m., but their morning is 5 p.m. That's all. That's one way to fix someone who is the complete opposite of my timetable. Then there are other people who, let's say, have a very erratic schedule. All right, doctors, pilots.
Yeah.
All these people, they don't have a specific timetable. I mean, surgeons especially, right? The calendar 1 week in advance. There will be some things which you just cannot move. For example, a pilot knows exactly when he or she is flying out and for how many days, right? So those are immovable. Then also look at other things which you feel can be moved around, like negotiated. I may have to drop my kid to school, right? I may have to attend so and so function. These are maybes. Leave them in your calendar, not a problem. And then keeping all of that in mind, slot in a concrete time for your workout. Anchor that in so that everything in that day revolves around this anchor. For example, I'm a pilot. I know for a fact that I'm flying out tonight. I need to rest through the day. What am I going to do? So I'll sleep through the day, wake up in the evening, do my workout, grab my meal, get out for my night flight. And then change the cycle as and when required. So that's one thing that helps. And then the second thing is on the daily, just before you wrap up your day, just again have a look at your calendar for tomorrow. Make sure that you know exactly what's going on, what's coming next. Don't fly in blind, because if you go in blind, then everything will just be haywire. And then you'll be like, oh, I ran out of time at the end of the day. That's just...
So you have a follow-up plan for your customers through
Absolutely.
apps, and you keep a track for these people, those who have erratic schedules, work schedules. Any success story or interesting story, I want to know you have?
Sure, like we've had, thankfully, been blessed, quite a few success stories. The biggest ones have been female realtor, age 43, mom, and her health was in complete dumps. Significantly obese, has had multiple surgeries due to health concerns, and just couldn't make the time to look after her health. Right? A doctor told her that if you're not going to fix this right now, our next meeting, our next visit is going to be extremely severe, extremely bad. Of course, that scared her, and she reached out to me. Now, once we had a conversation, I understood exactly how I need to help her, but it has to also come from within, because she was scared. Her fear was that I've done this many times in the past, it's never worked, so what makes it different this time? I get that. It is the reason why you have come to me is because it didn't work out in the past. All right, there's a pain point out here.
Yeah.
So then she had a conversation with Mithun, and based on her reports, we created a nutrition plan, and we said, if you follow this nutrition plan, your health markers will start getting better. Then she came over to the gym, and I personally took over her health and training, because there was a point where she couldn't even take a step on a stair without support. And for someone who's like 42, 43, that's crazy, right? So we worked on her, on building muscles, on building strength, and our goal was to drop, let's say, a number 15 kgs. That would have been ideal for her. But we realized that even though she's not losing weight, she was getting smaller in size. So that was a win. And we had a discussion with her doctor then, and all her markers have improved significantly. Cortisol reduced. Her blood sugar readings, her HbA1c currently is better than mine. I'm a bit jealous, but it's better than mine, right? And with regards to training, no matter what, she'll make it for her session, come what may, because now it's a matter of life or death, right? And then became lifestyle. And even if she's traveling, she's hitting the gym, eating clean, not junking out, like, because even it's easy for us to, just get a bar of chocolate, a piece of cake, and then have it without thinking much, and boom, that's like, I don't know how many calories, how much sugar is there in it. So these tiny adjustments, we saw very big results for her particularly. Another one that we often get is from younger women. I'm getting married in 2 months, I need to lose.
Yeah.
Right? That's a big one.
Yeah.
So in that case, we take a little more harder approach, because it is goal-based, it is time-based. Like, we have a certain time and you have to fit into your dress. By then you have to look pretty in your photographs and all of that. And once they achieve that target, because we've had, like, with brides especially, 100% record, right? And once they achieve that target, they feel beautiful on their wedding day. Inevitably, they come back after the wedding and say, I need to continue this, and my husband needs to train as well. Exactly. So then it becomes a partner training, which is fun for everyone.
Yeah, it is. So more people are still more conscious towards looking better. And how do you amplify the idea that beauty comes with being healthy is more important, and health comes through the healthy mind, healthy eating. So how do you amplify this idea? Because most of the people, I would like to continue this question, like, they want very fast results, and they're moving towards more of aesthetics, kind of quick results. So does it impact in long run? And of course the organic and healthy way is always better, we know, but how do you cope up with this?
So the first question of how do I get the message across, it depends on who I'm speaking with, right? If it is a business owner, for example, like yourself, the easiest way to make a business owner understand is, the healthier you are, the more money you make. Because if you're healthy, you perform better, you get paid better. Simple as that. Makes complete sense, direct correlation. It affects your team directly as well, because you walk in like a firecracker. You are the energy, you are the sun of that solar system. So if you provide energy, all of them are expected to up their game. Because if they don't up their game, then they feel that they aren't performing as well. Then obviously they know, if at all you have your reviews with them, their annual semi-annual reviews, they know exactly where they're lacking. Simple as that. So stay healthy, make more money. The second question was about quick results, and people need to. This is where the education comes in. That, what do you want? If you want to just lose weight, you eat less, run more, do all of that, you'll be fine. Yeah. When you lose muscle mass also, you don't know, your bone density might be getting affected. There's always, nowadays the quickest way that a lot of people are recommending is through your Ozempic and Mounjaro and all of that. Does it help? Of course. It helps people with diabetes, helps people who are significantly obese and need that assistance, because by themselves they cannot, or there's a medical reason. I know this one lady who needed to go through surgery because she fell down, but to undergo that surgery she had to lose a whole bunch of weight, which she couldn't do physically because she was in bed. Definitely Ozempic can help in such a case. But if you are a healthy and fully functional human being, the best way to go about it is to watch what you're eating, exercise, resistance train 3 days a week, like 90 minutes in a week if you can't spare for yourself. Come on, right? And moving more is everyone's nemesis. Oh, I can't get my 10,000 steps in. Fair enough. Can you walk for half an hour? I can do that. Let's do that then. Start where you can with your lifestyle, and once you start winning, man, it's addictive. Then you're excited to get the next goal. And once you plateau, you're like, why have I plateaued? I was doing so well all this while. Let me figure a way to break this plateau. Then it becomes challenging, and us as humans are motivated by rewards. So you just gamify the whole system and people are winning.
Exactly. So this is a whole regime you're taking in a holistic way. Like you just, I got that it's very important to check across the vitals of the body before,
Sure.
because many people they are just looking at the viral videos, they are adopting the different exercise method. Everything is on internet now these
Yeah.
days. But I don't think it works for everyone. The health vitals checkup and expert guidance is important, and
Absolutely.
that helps in the quick results as well. And it's
For
more
sure,
healthy.
for sure. If you do it diligently, you will see results. Like the biggest scam, the biggest issue that I see in these videos is like, a really ripped person on screen saying, do these exercises for six-pack abs.
Yeah.
Even if you do 10,000 crunches a day, which is not probably humanly possible, you will not get those looking abs unless you shed the fat from your body, right? It's as simple as that. So you have to work on everything around and then do those abs workout. You'll definitely see, your abs popping. But if you're not looking after your health and just doing those crunches, I want to lose fat only from my belly, you cannot spot reduce. If that's what you want, then there are multiple surgeons to help you with, with moving fat from certain
It may
parts of
have
your
ill
body.
effects as well if it is not done rightly.
Of course. Like, it. Let's say, for example, there's an ongoing joke in the industry that every exercise can be a low back exercise if you do it wrongly, right? It's because that's where people get injured the most. So injury is one big aspect. Number two, not knowing what exercise to do and just going and freestyling through everything is another big aspect where people don't see results because there's no method to the madness, right? And then for someone who does only cardio, I run every day, I do high intensity training, I never lift weights, and then immediately after that going and loading up on carbs or sugar because now the numbers have depleted in your body, so your body needs it, and then overdoing it. Because for us, it is very easy to miscalculate the amount of calories that we're consuming every day. For example, a tiny croissant is just like one small piece, but maybe 500 calories that you don't know that you're putting in, and plus carbs, which will break down to sugar. So you don't know what you're putting into your system unless you really read the label and understand the nutrition behind it.
Yeah, exactly. So how healthy Dubai is? You have been, I think your targeted consumer database has been Dubai.
Yes.
So how healthy they are or health conscious they are?
Surprisingly, a very large number of people in Dubai are health conscious, and I can tell that because the personal training industry has grown, year after year after, and there are even more personal trainers coming in every single day. In fact, people are switching over from other businesses and industries and becoming personal trainers,
Yeah.
right? And so you can tell that there has been an increase in the market. But then it is one aspect to start a healthy lifestyle, and it is another one to continue living it. That's where the disparity is, because everyone can start and achieve a certain goal, I feel great, and then fall off the wagon again.
Yeah.
So how do we keep that person on the wagon? That's the fun part of it. Consistency is fun because it's just like from a business point of view, it makes more sense. You know for a fact that it's always let's say financially more viable to retain a customer than to get a new one, right? Number one. But from a health and lifestyle perspective, this particular person's lifestyle and lifespan has has increased because of the training that we are providing, because of the food that we're providing, and that is where I really enjoy seeing results, because I have people who come, and we have conversations later. Of course, emotional conversations. Some we joke about, and their thank you is not only a thank you from them, but it is also a thank you from their families, from their kids, who have seen that lifestyle change, and then now the kids are starting to follow the similar lifestyle. So it's a complete chain effect, which I really enjoy seeing. So yeah.
So Sonam, people are watching from other part of the world. If anyone wants to take consulting from you, how they can reach out to? Do you have some online program as well for them?
Yes. I do provide online coaching as well. It can either be in the form of a community where a group gets together, especially currently I'm coaching a group of mums from across the world, different schedules, different time zones, but everyone is following the same protocol. The base remains the same, minor changes here and there, sure thing. Or else some people need that one-on-one coaching specifically because they're far gone and they just cannot understand how to make it work due to maybe some physical ailments, medical conditions. Then that requires me to sit down and have a conversation with them in length. And then of course, week on week on week, we touch base until they achieve their target. And my goal is to teach them how to do it rather than to make just design a plan and shove it down their throat.
And how people in Dubai can reach you?
Instagram is the easiest way to reach out to me. You can DM me directly at Real Fit Coaching. All right, that is my personal handle, Real Fit Coaching. If you send me a message, I look at it directly because I personally take on very few cases. I have my team handle most of it, but my personal Instagram is my personal Instagram, so that I keep to myself. So if you DM me at Real Fit Coaching, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions, more than happy to provide you a consultation if needed, and then we can see how I can help you in any way, shape or form, because again, a small nugget of information can go a long way in your health and fitness journey. So more than happy to help.
And in the right direction, I feel.
Absolutely, yeah. Because again, everyone's body is different. Yes. So in that conversation, you understand. And most of the time, right, in these consultations, my takeaway is, which they realize as well, is that they haven't been prioritizing their health. Women especially, moms especially, sometimes tend to feel guilty when they spend time on themselves because they're like, oh, I didn't give my kids or my family more time. I could give them more time, but here I am looking after my health. But I help them realize that they are the backbone of the family. Without them, everything else falls apart. And everyone knows that a happy wife, a happy mom keeps the family happy as well. So, yeah.
Great. So we see that there is a very much health industry now, as you've already said, that
Yes.
people are even shunning their career and becoming personal trainers. So what is the scope of healthcare industry and people, those who want to take it up as a career, what advice you want to give? Specifically those who want to come to Dubai or Gulf countries.
Okay, multi-pronged approach. Becoming a personal trainer or being a healthcare practitioner is a profession. It is something that generally people do it because they are passionate about. All right, 9 times out of 10, no one gets into the industry thinking or wakes up in the morning saying, "Today I will become a personal trainer." Right? It's something that you fall into, and it just becomes passion, which eventually becomes profession. But the healthcare as such is an industry. So you need to understand the business aspect of it too. Now, because we tend to think emotionally about our profession, sometimes we miss out on the business aspect of it because we're so involved in the business that we're not working on the business. So if you are becoming a personal trainer, you want to start a personal training company, by all means, get into it, get your credentials right, get your licenses and everything right, but then speak with business coaches, join networking groups like BNI, rub shoulders with people who have been successful entrepreneurs in their own businesses. Like for example, under normal circumstances, a business like yours and I don't sit on the same table, right? But if you're meeting if you're meeting tomorrow morning at BNI, we'll definitely be there. And we will have to talk about business at some point. And I will learn a thing or two from you, all right? And I will learn a thing or two from the person on the next table. So network, learn how to do business. That's super important. And keep the passion flowing through your profession, because that's what keeps you, motivated to wake up tomorrow morning.
That's amazing, Sonam, and very, very insightful session. I would request everyone who's watching, please get in touch with the holistic consultant with Sonam, Sonam, right? Sonam and his team, and you can DM them directly on the Instagram. Definitely, you will be more fitter and healthier. And this was really amazing. I really want to thank you again, Sonam.
My pleasure.
And we will put down all the details to get in touch with Simply Healthy team into our descriptions. For knowing more about the healthcare and the industry for knowing more about the healthcare industry in Dubai, and if you want to pursue your career, you are looking for collaborations, you want to talk to Sonam, you can also directly message us. Our details are also